What are you doing?
Mr. Tom Sobek. Go slow on this. Probably not that. Are you people hungry? Right now. On behalf of the bride and groom, I'd like to thank all the family and friends for being here to share their special day. I'm not much of a speaker, so I'm going to make this short. If you'd all please raise your glass with me. Joe, Margie, may you have many years of joy and happiness and a whole lot of love. Congratulations to all of us. Cheers.
So this is about the toilet seat, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like going into my bathroom and knowing that a girl was there.
Uh-huh.
Because they think they're special and they just leave the fucking seat down and the lid is still up.
Okay. May I say...
And if I had a dog, I don't want the dog drinking out of the damn toilet.
All right. So Tom...
But you don't know that. I still might get a dog. So you need to put them both down. Both of you put them both down.
Wait, put both...
He lifts up two,
Oh.
you lift up one.
Oh, okay. So we just leave the toilet seat down all the time, the top and that.
That's right.
That will equate us.
Yeah. And another thing.
Well, no, it wouldn't equate it because he would have to lift two. So he still has to do work. You can't get out of it.
Yeah, but this is more for you than it is for him. That's because you do nothing. You do absolutely nothing. Because you feel that you are entitled to God knows what. All right, now, equality between the sexes.
Tell me. I want to hear it. Tell me.
Do you feel that men and women should make the same money?
I feel that a person should earn what they how hard they worked. They should earn the money.
Okay, here. We're on the fucking Titanic.
Yeah.
Guess who's getting off the ship first?
The babies, the kids.
Women and fucking children. So you know what? That's where we get the extra couple of bucks a fucking hour because we gotta stay on the goddamn ship. Okay?
Tom, I never thought of that. And you know what? I'm okay with that.
All right. That's all I got to say.
All right. So all right. So Tom.
God spoke to, it's not quite yet a woman, not quite a man.
Correct. It's called Adam Kadmon.
So God said, all right, look, you can either have a brain.
Uh-huh.
Let me see, right? It's either a brain or a vagina. You can't have both.
Correct. Yeah.
So that makes the rule, no dick, no brain.
All right. So the woman has the brain.
No, woman ain't got nothing.
She ain't got
She has a
nothing.
vagina.
She has a vagina.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
And that's it.
Henceforth, no dick, no brain.
You know what? If the apple was a cosmopolitan, I don't think Eve would have shared it.
I just realized recently, I was like, how did Adam and Eve, how did the world procreate?
What? That's so interesting that you asked that question.
So they were Southerners.
Who were Southerners? Wait, Southerners.
Yeah, Adam and Eve were Southerners.
Why do you say that?
Well, they had children, daughters and sons, and those were the only people on the
Oh,
earth.
I see what you mean.
Incestuous relations.
Incestuous relations. Everybody's
going
so
to
fascinated with that. So fascinated with that. All right, you know what? I don't know how to answer that question, but I do know how to answer the question previous to that one. Are you?
No, I'm more interested. Well, there's you only hear about Cain and Abel. You don't hear about no other brothers and no other sisters.
Uh-huh.
And if they didn't have sisters, that only left Eve.
Uh-huh.
I'm just saying.
No,
Okay.
there were a bunch of other kids besides just Cain and Eve.
But if they all came from Adam and Eve,
Well, yeah, they were siblings, and that's exactly what it
Yeah,
is.
so half of them were probably retarded, and you know,
maybe that's why the Tower of Babel happened, because it was just a bunch of. Or that's probably why when Noah, the flood, Noah, they were all, when God was so upset that all these humans were behaving in such an erratic state, it might have been because they were all just crazy. Maybe.
yeah, well,
Huh.
but now you got to think of how many generations does it take before that retardation gets wiped clean from the slate?
Well, you know what I did learn?
So obviously, this is not the place we're going.
So this is what I did learn. You know how Noah had 3 sons?
No.
That came on the boat? Noah
Okay.
had 3 sons that came on the boat with him.
Okay.
And I found out that the translation of the sons, there's many different ways of using the words the sons. And in this translation, when it came to Noah, they weren't his there was one that I think was his son. The other ones were not biological sons. They were
In-laws?
they could have been other.
Got him from the foster home.
Yeah, and they weren't his sons. So, but they were his students. So Noah brought his students along with him on the ark. Isn't that interesting?
Not really.
Because then the incestuous question is not needed for human beings after Noah. That's how I view it. After I found out the true translation of that, the real translation, not the metaphorical translations, because metaphors are used for to explain Greek mythology. Metaphors are used to explain poetry, trying to hit the idea across creative minds. So, is this the?
Yep.
No, I think Joe, we were here before.
Casa Grande.
No, we weren't.
Well,
Casa Grande.
Arriba!
what are you doing?
When I was young, sit beside me, my only son, and listen closely to what I say. And if you do this, it'll help you some sunny day. I will.
What are you doing?
On behalf of the family, I want to say thank you for everybody that came out to show your support and love. This to me is overwhelming. it's the parade of people that were going through. So it's like the movie Big Fish, where the guy was bigger than life, and everybody just came out of nowhere. Very impressive. Tom Sobek, yes, he was born in Germany. His dad was stationed there in the early 60s, and he met a local girl and he fell in love with her, and the rest is history. But his existence was pretty much a miracle from the start, because he was born at like 2.5, 3-pound preemie baby. And back in those days, it wasn't a good survival rate. My name's Joe. Tom was my best man and my best friend for 45 years. This is my disclaimer. If I break up or if I say something inappropriate, forgive me. Tom and I shared an era that had the best music, the best cars, the best snowstorms, some of the best food, and the prettiest girls in history. We had our first burrito together. That would have been fun.
What are you doing?
Fortunately, we didn't possess the financial means to obtain all these wonderful things in that era. But that didn't stop him. He did all the jobs available for young teens. Cutting grass, shoveling snow, for the older folks in the neighborhood, building and selling mini bikes. We used to work at banquet halls washing dishes together when we were 13, 14 years old. He was a young businessman back then, and he was determined to make it work. Tom inherited from his parents an amazing mechanical mind from his father. As a machinist, a mechanic, a fabricator, an electrician, there wasn't much he could not do. He didn't have to hire anybody to do anything for him. He was the go-to guy. Some of the projects he did were mind-boggling to me. When he was still in high school, he secured a job as a machinist through the training of the school and what he learned from his father. Like the obituary said, he had a little machine shop set up in the basement. We used to hang out there. He had a lathe, a mill. His dad had a nice collection of Playboy magazines. It was a teen boy's happy place. And I don't know if his dad knew what we were doing, but we had a nice little business making and selling assorted cannabis smoking devices. As he got older, once he started making money, he would be buying old cars and restoring them. As a teenager, it became a passion.
What are you doing?
It's a special person that can take a car at a junkyard and say, I'm gonna make that run. And I watched him do it. We didn't buy anything. We just went there to go play in the junkyard. He's like taking parts off this car, that car, and he's gonna get that car running just for fun. As you get older and you go through your relationships and your heartbreaks, that a lot of us do, he met Linda, who would become the mother of his 3 beautiful kids. Linda was a nurse, and Tom had his share of health issues, and I really think she saved his life. And it was with Linda that he ended up in Indiana. And once Tom was down there, in true Tom fashion, he proceeded to build a profitable gunsmithing business, along with restoring old tractors and old cars. He loved it here, but his marriage would suffer. I think the death of his father took a toll on him. He idolized his father and he hated him at the same time. He needed something more. Nancy came into his life and she took quite a fancy to him. The connection, from what I saw, was almost spiritual. I was very impressed with her the first time I met her. I remember it like it was yesterday. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, she doesn't have a clue what she's getting herself into. How am I doing? In Hebrew, the word for soul is neshama. There's like 5 other words, but the word doesn't translate in English. It's so much deeper. It is the soul, the spirit, the essence of a human being. It's that piece of God within us. And that's what Tom shared with us. He shared it with me. And if you knew Tom, it was because he allowed you to know him. I'm thinking Nancy's neshama is more like of an angel than a human. You're an incredible woman. This was much easier walking in circles in my garage with a beer in my hand or reciting it yesterday. Like I mentioned earlier, Tom was born a 3-pound baby. But he grew into a big man with a big heart, a big mind, big feet, and I'm just going to leave it at that. And French, the French language. Do you know how you say, I miss you in French? I don't either. Tout me manque. I looked this up. It doesn't translate to I miss you, it translates to you are missing from me. He is missing from me. He's missing from all of us. Shine on, you crazy diamond. I know we'll meet again. I'll see you on the dark side of the moon. One of the hardest things for me, mourning my friend, are the unfinished projects he left behind. You know, if I learned anything from his passing, it would be to finish what you start. Tom, I just want to say good luck. We're all counting on you. Love you, man. Take my phone.
It lasted all of 3 seconds.
What are you doing?